Hey, what's up? Chris from Schoen Roofing, and doing a little video about ladder setup, taking them off your truck, putting them back on. To go over a few of the basics. We use extension ladders every day, so we kind of take for granted that some people might not know how to use them properly. After you unstrap your ladder, slide it toward the back of the truck and push the feet down. The more vertical you can get the ladder at this point, the easier it will be to pick up and move around. You want to grab the ladder 3 rungs from the bottom, rest it on your shoulder, and find the balance point. Here, I perform a full 180 while jamming out to Watermelon Sugar to show that you can rock out with your extension out. Next, I'm showing an example of how much more difficult this becomes if you place the feet of the ladder farther away from the truck. You really need to pull with all of your weight to get it upright. The next position is called ladder on shoulder. There will be times you can't carry a ladder upright because of trees or wires. Gently bounce the ladder until you feel the balance change to the top of your shoulder. Once you clear the low-flying obstacle, you can bounce it back down to upright position. Another ladder thing, we can do this. So when you set up a ladder...
Do you want me to look at your face?
It's okay, I don't care. When you set up, to know the proper pitch, people always have it either too steep or too what do you call it? Too level?
Yeah, okay.
Not steep enough. So what you want to do is put your toes against just the bottom of the ladder. Mm-hmm. Stand up straight and put your hand out. If you can touch the rung and kind of grab it, that's usually a pretty good indication. If your hand's way past, it's too steep. And if you can't grab it, it means it's not steep enough. So it's a really easy way to make your body into a triangle to check that. And it's also for every 3 feet up, you want 1 foot out if you want to measure and do it that way. I don't do that, it takes forever. Yeah, it's way too, it's so stupid. That's the official safety rule. So do this, and then as soon as you go on, you go up a couple of rungs, you can tell if it's too steep or not. I'm actually gonna pull this back a little bit because I'm gonna be working with no hands.
No hands.
So like that to me is perfect. I can stand on that and I don't feel uncomfortable. Once the ladder is in place, I will set it up about 3 feet off the building. First, flip the lock latch so you can extend the ladder. Standing beside the ladder, I grab the rope with one hand and the rung with the other. As you pull with the rope, you can give some support with the rung hand. When you want to lower the ladder, simply pull down on the rope until the rung locks are just above the rung and they automatically fold in to allow the ladder to return to the ground. Flip the lock latch and you're done. As shown in the video, we show how to take it off a truck properly, keep it close, carry a ladder upright if at all possible. Especially as they get bigger, they're very hard to drag around and then stand back up. So in the background we have just a little 20-footer. It ain't gonna reach the top, but it's a little windy out and I don't want to get the 28-footer out and watch me dance around. But we'll go over some of the parts of the ladder. So we moved to fiberglass. Featherlight, yeah, it's a Featherlight, not a Louisville. We bought Featherlight fiberglass ladders, and just for safety in general, it's better to have fiberglass than the old aluminum ladders. If you hit a power line, and I know I've heard of a few stories of friends and bandmates that back in the day did get jarred a little bit by hitting a power line. These will hopefully stop that. So that's why we go fiberglass over the old aluminum or steels. Weight is roughly the same. These might be a little bit heavier, but I like that for the durability for what we got to do with them. I mean, we abuse these things, right? We're on them every single day with tons of weight. Go over the parts of the ladder so you guys can know what you're looking at when you're looking at a ladder. So the feet feet on the bottom. These ones are pivoting. If this was a grass ground, we'd flip those up and dig those feet, dig them straight into the ground. So you have the pivoting feet. We have our rope tied off on the bottom rung of the extension part. So that way when we pull on the rope, it extends by itself. Most companies and most crews get rid of the rope, don't like it, it's in the way, or they break, they don't put a new one on. It is how you can set up a ladder by yourself. If you don't have a rope on your ladder and it's an extension and you're trying to set it up, I've done it. You end up walking up the ladder, up the side of the building, shimmying it the whole way, just not recommended. So keep a rope on your ladder, keep it in the middle so you can walk on both sides of it and it won't get in the way. All right, next we got the rung clasps, and all the new fiberglass ones definitely have a locking mechanism right here. That keeps your ladder from accidentally getting jumped up and then lowering back down. It makes it so that these rungs can't separate as you're going. So you won't be able to extend it if that lock is in place. Let's just show an example. So this locking piece, when it's down, I can no longer raise this up. So once this lock is released, we're able to slide the ladder around. Biggest pain in the ass when they first came out, because you'd always forget to unlock it on your way down, but now that we're used to it, it's just part of every day. And it's kind of nice because you can carry the ladder around even if it's extended a few rungs and you're just moving it to another part of the house, and you don't have to worry about it jumping off and crushing your fingers basically. So I do enjoy that safety feature after we got used to it. And that's kind of it. You have the rungs. Rungs on ladders are 12 inches apart, so it's also an easy way to get a quick guesstimate of how tall something is, if you have to do any measuring, or you can see how tall your ladder is when it's set up and roughly how high you're working for safety issues. So if you're above that 10 feet and need to set up more tie-off points, then you can tell that by your ladder, which is pretty nice. And at the top, we have the pulley. That's where the rope comes in. Every ladder has one on it if it's a proper extension ladder. And like I mentioned before, if your rope breaks, it's super easy to buy some new stuff, run it through, makes setting up a ladder way easier. A lot of safety guidelines recommend having 2 people set up a ladder. I completely disagree. 1 person should be setting up a ladder. If there's a second person, they should be spotting. So they should be watching for pedestrians, checking for power lines, and watching the ground as the person's walking. But having 2 people carry a ladder that's 20 feet, even up to 32 feet, having 2 people carry it is more awkward. Someone's gonna trip on something because you're carrying it under your arm. You're not carrying it in a nice upright position. So that's my recommendation. Do it however you want to do it. But I did show a couple good examples that you can basically dance with this thing. I know it's only a 20-footer, it's not big, but we'll bring out the big ladders next day when it's not so windy and do a little more of a review. All right, well, thank you so much for watching. If this is your first time, welcome to the channel. We do tool reviews, installs, and all things exterior. All right, Chris signing off. See you next time.